Amazon Prime's live-action Fallout series has officially released, and I just have to say, finally a live-action video game adaptation done right. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Mario Bros. And Borderlands. For those who are new to the series, Fallout is a collection of post-apocalyptic action role-playing video games. Created by Tim Cain and Leonard Boyarsky at Interplay Studios, but later popularized by Bethesda Softworks, alternating top billing as series creators, along with writing the series. I'm gonna botch this name. Geneva Robertson Dworet, Graham Wagner act as executive producers, but mostly produced by Jonathan Nolan and Lisa Joy, as Nolan directed the first 3 episodes. The show's premise takes a look into a future post-apocalyptic Los Angeles brought about by nuclear decimation. A young woman named Lucy must leave her home of Vault 33 and venture into the dangerous, unforgiving wasteland in order to find her kidnapped father. So make sure to grab a snack, hit that subscribe button, and let's get started. In true Fallout fashion, we start at the end, and holy fuck is this one hell of an opening scene. While the world is on the brink of nuclear conflict, we're introduced to Cooper Howard, a Hollywood film actor before the Great War of 2077, entertaining a children's party as one of his Western personas in order to...
What else? Alimony.
As this Shabaroon states while continuously trying to embarrass him.
Coop, do your thumbs up.
Yeah, given the state of everything, I prefer not to if that's all right.
Why not? That's what you're famous for. Yeah, you still took my money.
While the party is winding down, cake is being served, and we see the tension that comes with global nuclear conflict.
I'm sorry, I can't do this. I can't do the weather if I don't even know if there's going to be a next week.
Happy thoughts today.
As the mother quickly turns off the news and changes it to Grognak the Barbarian, so that way the children stay oblivious to the threats surrounding them. Janie, however, takes notice of the broadcast and asks Cooper,
"Do you think it's gonna happen?"
After he explains the rule of thumb for nuclear clouds, in order to ease her mind, he goes and asks if she can have a piece of cake, since she technically wasn't invited and was just there to be Cooper's helper. Following a bright flash upon returning to Janie, she asks him the heart-shattering question.
"Is it your thumb or mine?"
When I tell you the tears that were building in my eyes as my brain started to piece together everything that was happening was unreal. Cooper quickly grabs Janie as the smoke turns into a mushroom and the shockwave hits. They jump on his horse and start hightailing it out of there. But unfortunately there's no hope as we see like 4 to 6 bombs drop around them all simultaneously. Flash forward 227 years into the future of Vault 33 and we meet the Overseer's daughter and our next main character, Lucy, trying not to be a Kentucky Fried cousin lover.
Messing around with your cousin, it's all well and good for kids, but it's not a sustainable long-term sexual practice,
By attempting to wed herself off to another dweller of Vault 32. The wedding goes without a hitch, even with Lucy embarrassing herself constantly.
So what's your sperm count? Sperm is pretty important in perpetuating America, so...
But something just doesn't feel right. There's a slight tension in the air between Lucy's little brother Rico from Hannah Montana and the Overseer from Vault 32. They keep giving each other these little side eyes, and it's like, what's going on there? This guy wastes no time getting down and dirty. While Lucy and hubby are consummating their marriage, Norm does a little investigation into Vault 32 himself, which turns out to be a desolate dust bowl of withered crops and mummified bodies. But back at home, Lucy discovers her new hubby actually isn't a vault dweller at all, but a surface dweller as her Pip-Boy's rad meter starts going off the charts.
You're from the surface.
As if the gigantic scars all over his body weren't a big enough red flag. I guess you can say all those self-defense classes paid off because this bitch just turned this raider into Heath Ledger. My favorite part of this entire onslaught is this raider in specific just devouring cake as he's killing everybody. That would be me. They did not hold back on the brutality of the raiders either.
Get that jelly mold out of here!
I I can't show most of the scene due to like the 5 straight minutes of just graphic mayhem that's happening, but trust me when I tell you that this scene makes a Quentin Tarantino movie look like fucking Sesame Street. How this raider survived long enough to get completely destroyed by Daddy Overseer is beyond me. But can you imagine being drowned to death by pickle juice? Just vile vinegar and cucumber juice? Fucking gross. She gives Papa a choice of either letting Lucy live or letting all the Vault Dwellers live, in which he obviously chooses Lucy. He shoves her into a walk-in cooler before the mystery woman tells her,
"You look like your mother."
Where are you taking him?
To the real world.
and that she should,
Give it some time.
before leaving and blowing the whole place to smithereens. Our final character, Maximus, is introduced by getting his ass kicked by all of his fellow Brotherhood of Steel members. Which is fitting because throughout this whole series we'll see that he is the biggest piece of shit in the entire wasteland. So I don't feel too bad for him. He's essentially the worst trainee in this entire boot camp, for even the fucking teacher whacks on him. But he's got a good friend Dane, so at least he's not completely alone. That is until the next scene when you find out that Dane is being called into action as a Knight Titus squire to the wilds.
Get this, we're going to the wilds. Hell yeah!
This doesn't sit too well with Maximus as we see him taking his anger out on this poor latrine. The barracks are awoken the next morning by Dane screaming as somebody tried to turn his leg into fucking hamburger meat via razor blade to boot. Maximus, made to wear a robe with handcuffs, is taken by higher ranked officers as we get another look into Vault 33 dwellers trying to clean up the entire massacre that just happened. Painting walls, hanging new posters, which really makes me laugh because the new poster that they hang says, "The outside world can't hurt you." But yet there's immediately blood to the left of it from the outside world hurting you. It's just so funny. After the cleanup, they have like a high council meeting with all of the Vault Dwellers to determine what course of action should be taken next. Lucy suggests that they open up the vault and send a search party to help go find her dad, but in typical political fashion, all of the council is kind of just like, "Too bad, so sad about your dad, but we're not opening up that vault, so we're just gonna find a new overseer." Rico chimes in and starts spitting facts at Lucy.
They don't want to find Dad. If they did, they wouldn't get to be in charge.
And he is exactly right. If they wanted to find Hank, they would. But if they did find Hank, then none of them would have a chance to run the show. Fucking politicians. So Rico, Lucy, and Cousin Lover decide to take it upon themselves to help break Lucy out of the vault, which leads to some more comedic dialogue.
How's your day going?
Bad as everyone else's.
This guy is me whenever a customer at work asks how life is going. Thanks to Cousin Lover trying to leave with Lucy, Vault Security is notified that the door is open. Lucy hits Cousin Lover with some trank and hugs Rico goodbye as the vault door opens, and she enters the outside world. As we tag back to Maximus's interrogation, we're introduced to one of the Brotherhood's high-ranking official members, Elder Sarek Quintus, and this man is casted perfectly. He is so unsettling with the way that he talks.
Your friend was promoted, you were not. You have ambitions, don't you?
I would be shitting bricks too if I was Maximus and there was some gigantic metal soldier clanking behind me. This scene is a perfect example of how the dialogue gives you comedic breaks during suspenseful moments, just like the video games do. Like when Maximus admits to wanting the injury to happen to his friend.
I wanted it to happen. Is that wrong?
Yes.
Like, obviously it's wrong for you to want that to happen. But then he goes on this spiel about how, like, he'll give his life for the Brotherhood and how they gave him a home when nobody else did and how he would die honorably for the Brotherhood. Which somehow got him out of trouble and a promotion. It's like, okay. Just to fit the role of being the biggest piece of shit in the show, he then goes to the person he mutilated and is like, "Do you know who did it?" To which his friend is like, "No, it could have been any one of those motherfuckers, but they asked me if it was you." Following up with,
I told him you wouldn't hurt a fly.
He gives a slight smile to Maximus, which makes me think that, like, Does he know that Maximus did it, but is just keeping his mouth shut to be a good friend because he knows how much Maximus wants to go to the wasteland and see some action? Before setting out on his journey, we finally get to see what this highly anticipated target looks like, as Maximus is handed like an 8-bit drawing of what looks like a scientist and his companion dog. Coming up to the end of the episode, we're met with 3 cowboys that are attempting to dig up a ghoul from its grave. Only problem is they don't know if it's going to be feral or not, so they decided to bring a chicken along for the ride because
feral ghoul can't abide a chicken. If he goes for him, we kill him.
The coffin pops open and we're greeted with a cowboy turned ghoul and a pretty suspenseful ending.
Well. Wow, is this an Amish production of the Count of Monte Cristo, or just the weirdest circle jerk I've ever been invited to?
We find out that the reason he was dug up was due to the same bounty that we just saw from the Brotherhood. Honcho propositions the ghoul with half of the bounty along with,
figured you'd be interested in, is where they's running to. In California. That's where you from, ain't it?
But the ghoul's got a smart mouth on him.
And what the fuck would you know about where I'm from?
Honcho doesn't take too kindly to that type of talk as he threatens to throw the ghoul back down into the hole and bury him alive.
Oh, so Don Pedro can have his fun with you for the next 30 years.
Terrible idea there, Honcho, because as we see... this ghoul ain't one to mess with. Along with his amazing one-liners, the ghoul is mine and I'm pretty sure everybody's favorite character throughout the entire show.
You right, friend, about one thing. This right here was your last job.
I give it 2 weeks before the hub is filled with the ghoul videos, if you know what I'm saying. He's such a savage but highly lovable character as the series goes on.
Well, you know what they say. Us cowpokes. We take it as it comes.
That's going to do it for this week's episode 1 review of Amazon Prime's Fallout series. I had a lot of fun watching the series along with making the reviews. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and turn notifications on so you know each time a video is uploaded. Comment any other films or series you would want to see reviewed in the future. And until next time, I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. See ya.
Crawl out through the fallout, baby, when they drop that bomb.